Voices from Chernobyl, The Oral History of a Nuclear Disaster, 1997, is an award-winning documentary work by Belarusian journalist Svetlana Alexievich. Based on dozens of interviews conducted in 1996, the book records first-hand testimonies from survivors and others affected by the 1986 Chernobyl nuclear catastrophe. Alexievich, who was working as a journalist in Minsk at the time of the disaster, gathered, edited, and arranged these disturbing narratives. Her own authorial presence is minimal, allowing the witnesses' voices to dominate the text. The book is organized into 3 sections: Land of the Dead, Land of the Living, and Amazed by Sadness, with interviews that range from a few paragraphs to nearly 20 pages. Some accounts appear as individual monologues, while others are presented as collective voices. Many focus on the day of the explosion itself, while others reflect on life 10 years later and the lasting consequences of the event. Voices from Chernobyl received the National Book Critics Circle Award in 2005, and in 2015 Alexievich was awarded the Nobel Prize in Literature. In the opening section, Land of the Dead, Alexievich informs readers that nearly 2 million Russians and Belarusians continue to live on land contaminated by the April 26, 1986 disaster. Despite the persistent toxicity, residents still cultivate crops and consume food grown near the site of the explosion. One of the most striking interviews is with Lyudmila Ignatenko, who recounts caring for her husband Vasily, a firefighter and first responder who was fatally exposed to radiation. As one nurse remarked, "That's not a person anymore, that's a nuclear reactor." Lyudmila remained at his bedside for weeks, wiping radioactive residue from his mouth until his death. 2 months later, she gave birth to a daughter who survived less than 4 hours, dying from severe heart and liver defects caused by extreme radiation exposure, 28 Röntgens. This tragic story is echoed again and again through similar personal testimonies. The second section, The Land of the Living, addresses the brutal aftermath of the catastrophe. The population was wholly unprepared for the long-term consequences, having been either misinformed or left unaware of the dangers. Many trusted the government to safeguard them, only to encounter corruption, denial, and incompetence. Because radiation was invisible, it was not initially perceived as a serious threat, and by the time illness became widespread, escape was often impossible. Authorities hesitated to act, fearing public panic. Looting spread, safety precautions were ignored, and contaminated food entered the Soviet supply chain. Frequently, officials refused to acknowledge the crisis. One scientist recalls that whenever he phoned a state official to discuss radioactive fallout, the official would simply hang up, knowing that delay would only worsen the damage. In the final section, Amazed by Sadness, Alexievich gives voice to those who feel permanently marked as Chernobylites. Interviewees include people who were children at the time of the explosion, as well as liquidators, the soldiers sent to contain the disaster, peasants, doctors, teachers, journalists, scientists, government officials, and ordinary citizens. One hunter describes being ordered to kill contaminated cats and dogs in evacuated zones. Liquidators express bitterness toward a Soviet government that sent them into danger unprotected, claiming it flung us there, like sand on the reactor. Among the most disturbing accounts are those of Russian refugees from Tajikistan who fled to Chernobyl, preferring radiation exposure to the violence of their war-torn homeland. Alexievich documents the sacrifices of helicopter pilots and civilians who labored on the reactor roof after machines failed. The testimonies include stories of deformed children, black market traders selling contaminated equipment, ineffective bureaucrats, and scientists and health officials who unsuccessfully tried to warn of the impending disaster. Many survivors draw parallels between Chernobyl and World War II. Forced evacuations and the loss of land and property evoke memories of war, made even more unsettling by an invisible enemy and the absence of any clear victory. As one person states, Chernobyl is like the war of all wars. There's nowhere to hide. Not underground, not underwater, not in the air. While many struggled to adjust, some self-settlers refused to leave, convinced that relocation posed greater dangers than radiation. In addition to World War II, survivors often connect Chernobyl to the collapse of communism, which followed soon after. One nuclear engineer describes how the disaster shattered his faith in the communist system. Both events fractured the social foundations of Soviet life, a sense of stability many have spent their lives trying to reclaim. The book closes with an interview that mirrors its opening. A devoted wife watches helplessly as her husband, a sick soldier, slowly dies from incurable radiation poisoning. Svetlana Alexievich is a Belarusian investigative journalist and oral historian whose work centers on Soviet and post-Soviet experiences. In 2015, she became the first Belarusian writer to receive the Nobel Prize in Literature, awarded for her polyphonic writings, a monument to suffering and courage in our time. In 2016, a documentary film titled Voices from Chernobyl, based on her book, was released, directed by Luxembourg filmmaker Paul Cruchten. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and subscribe.